I remember being 23 and I remember it very clearly. I had an opportunity in front of me, an opportunity that was scary, that felt risky, that wasn't guaranteed. And I had two choices. Option 1, take risk, jump, believe in myself. Option 2, play it safe, choose comfort and wait for clarity. And I chose option 2. It seemed smart at the start, it seemed responsible. But it was one of the biggest mistakes in my life. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it cost me, not to make you feel bad, so you don't make the mistake same I did. Here's what I did. At 24, I had opportunity to create content, but I was scared, so instead of taking risk, I delayed. I told myself I have time, I am being smart. I was being careful and I was being strategic. But really, I was just afraid. And that mistake, I didn't realize I was making a choice. I thought safety was just what to do, but it was a choice and it had consequences. Let me be honest about why I made this choice. It was fear. Fear alone. What if I failed? What if I wasn't good enough? What if I lost everything? Social pressure. Everyone was around me playing it safe. My parents wanted me to be secure. My friends thought risk taking was irresponsible. Society told me to be insensible. And it was lack of self-respect. At that time, I didn't believe myself enough to take a risk. I thought, who am I trying to become? Maybe I should wait until I become more qualified, more experienced, more certain. But that certainty was never going to come. And I chose safety, not consciously, but by being in inaction. I didn't pursue the opportunity, I didn't take the risk, I stayed where I was. And I told myself that it was fine, I am being responsible, I am smart. But deep down, I know I am making a mistake. So here's what happened in the year 1. I thought I had made the right choice. I was safe, I was having stability, but I also had this feeling, the gnawing feeling that I would miss something. Regret, that was the first cost. I started wondering what would have happened if I started early and taken the risk. But regret alone didn't kill me, I could live with that. The real cost was slower, lost momentum. I lost the momentum. When you didn't take risks, you don't grow, you don't learn, you don't move. I stayed in the same position, same mindset, same person. But the world was moving, opportunities was passing by, and next thing is lost identity. Slowly I started internalizing a belief. I am someone who is careful, I am someone who is playing safe, I am not someone who takes risk. And that identity became the part who I was. By the end of year 1, I wasn't just living the same life. I was becoming a different person, a person who waits, a person who doubts themselves. Because by year 2, the choice I made at 23 had compounded. Missed opportunities. While I was playing it safe, other people were taking risks. They were learning, they were building. I watched them move forward where I was playing still. The longer I stayed safe, the more I believed that I am not someone who takes risks. I'm not someone who goes for big things. I'm not someone who is okay with being good enough. And that belief, it spread with everything, my career, my life, my self-image. And next thing was, I lost many years. I had lost 2 years of growth, not just 2 years of time, 2 years of development, learning and becoming. And the worst part is, I was still young. I still had time to change. But by the year 2, my identity was stuck. I was becoming exactly the person who I was afraid not to become. And I realized if I don't change now, this will become my life. At some point in year 2, I just remembered the exact moment I just broke. I was sitting somewhere thinking about I am 25 now. I have spent 2 years safe and I am miserable. Not because my situation was bad, but because I knew I would be choosing comfort over growth. And that cost me my self-respect. And finally I understood what my father had taught me years before. Self-respect matters more than comfort. And so I made a decision. I was going to take the risk which I should have made at 23. Late, but it is not too late. It was scary, but the regret was way more scary. I decided to do it, and by doing it, everything changed. Not immediately, but over time. First, my self-respect came back because I was finally choosing growth over comfort. I was finally respecting enough myself to try. Second, I started learning. I failed at first multiple times, but each failure taught me something. And I realized that I should have been learning these lessons at 23. Third, my identity shifted. Instead of someone I am who playing is safe, it became I am someone who can do anything. And that identity opened the doors. It changed how I made decisions. It changed who I was. Fourth, opportunities appeared. Not because the world has changed, because I changed. And when you change, you attract different things. And I realized the choice I didn't make at 23 cost me everything. But the choice I made at 25 gave me everything back. Here's what I would tell my 23 years old self if I could go back. Take the risk, not recklessly, but take it. Because comfort at 23 compounds as regret at 30. But growth at 25, that compounds into life which you dreamt of. You don't get a pass for being young and stupid. Your choices matter, they shape who you become. So if you're 23 right now, 24, 25, if there is something you want to do it now. Don't make the mistake I did. Don't wait for certainty that will never come. Take the risk, do the thing, become the person you're capable of B. Because by 30, it will be too late. So choose wisely at your younger age. Because the cost of not choosing it will compound for years. I'm sharing this because some of you right now are 23, 24, 25 or even 26 and you're scared and you're wondering that what will others think or should I take the risk? And I am telling you, yes, take it. Not because it is going to work for guaranteed, but because not taking will cost you more than you think. Failure is temporary, but regret, it becomes your identity. Start becoming who you are meant to be. This is Dr. Kaushik. Tell me in the comments what's the risk you should have taken. Name it because naming it the first step to take action.